watching your language. As millions of young Americans get their news from TikTok, GOP presidential candidate Nikki Haley floats, then walks back, a controversial solution to fight the misinformation that's saturating social media sites.
We need our social media companies to verify everybody.
Will ending online anonymity put a limit on American free speech? Or does a video going viral right now prove why it needs to happen? Then, the Marvel stars Tiana Paris and Iman Vellani are assembling at the Hot Topics table. Plus, Grammy winner Chris Ludacris Bridges talks about putting a modern spin on classic holiday characters in the new movie Dashing Through the Snow. Here come Hot Topics with Whoopi, Sarah Haynes, Anna Navarro, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and Alyssa Farah Griffin. Now, let's get things started.
Did you happen to see this, Brian, see this thing with George Santos?
That was breaking?
Did you read the thing?
I just started to, but we were gonna...
It's kind of nutty.
It's gold. It's television gold.
We got to talk about it tomorrow.
I mean, well, you can, but I'm here now.
Yeah. Is everybody ready?
No, but you can school me.
But I'm just...
let's because it's juicy.
I mean, there's so much in it, but there's like stuff like him getting Botox.
And using federal funds to pay for
using
his Botox.
federal funds. I mean,
And for your charge that to the company?
No.
Oh,
No.
maybe I should rent
Hermes items as well. He purchased.
And OnlyFans. I mean, this guy
he has an OnlyFans, or no,
he's using federal funds to pay for an OnlyFans account. Unclear what that was for, but there's lots to.
It's just very
it's kind of stupid to do that, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it is.
Yeah, but we had
also
strong signs
unethical.
of that kind of intellectual capability before.
Yeah, like the House Ethics Committee, although they didn't make a recommendation as to what Congress should do, they laid out their findings, and some of their findings were pretty.
How is he not fired? I echo what I said yesterday. In any job where you go on OnlyFans and swipe your corporate card, get Botox and swipe your corporate card, you are out.
It's bye-bye.
In fact, you get one box and you're escorted by security. Like, I don't get it.
They found that he
get it.
broke.
He's a Republican and they want his vote. That's all they care about.
That's all they
They
care
don't
about
care how
because
much
they
Botox he uses.
They did
want
refer
that
it to
vote.
DOJ, so he's still being investigated.
investigated.
And he will, by the way, go down. These are blatant campaign finance violations and misappropriations
But you
of
know,
funds.
we see
We
it.
haven't seen anyone going
Yeah,
down.
nobody goes down.
and
We
so
see
it's
all
illegal.
of these things and nothing happens. And suddenly you have
Suddenly I have a legal
note.
It happened to be on the Democratic side. Look what they did to Al Franken, Senator Al Franken, who never had due process or anything. I saw
But
him.
Bob
I
Menendez
happened
is
to
still
see him
sitting in the
yesterday.
Senate.
Yeah,
Bob Menendez is still sitting in the Senate.
And
I'd love to see both of them go.
He'll be gone soon.
And he's facing.
The Democrats
also
get rid of their
federal
dirt. They don't keep it.
We do. We're like a cat
We like to
box. We
collect
like
our
get in the
dirt.
cat box.
I've been gathering my dirt.
But you have this. You got to do this now.
Okay. Representative George Santos has pleaded not guilty to a 23-count federal indictment. He's admitted to embellishing parts of his background, but said he never broke any laws. And what we just said was that the House Ethics Committee found that he did break New York federal law.
Right.
Well,
So
federal law.
But you know, 23 federal indictments.
There's nothing on 91
compared to Donald Trump.
No, it's a shame that this. I mean, it is funny. No, there's what else can you do but laugh? There's nothing you can do but laugh because this is insane. And this is a little crazy too. A third of young Americans seem to be getting their news from TikTok, which a lot of this is what they're saying, which is what which a lot of Republican candidates said they want to ban at the last debate. Now, Nikki Haley gave another suggestion about how to protect users against misinformation. Take a look.
I want freedom of speech for Americans. I don't want freedom of speech for Russia and Hamas. And that's what's happening right now. So the way you fix that is we need our social media companies to verify everybody so that we can get all of those.
So you're not really saying that people can't tweet anonymous. I mean, but that's bad enough because you see what it's doing to our kids and bullying and everything else.
Do I think life would be more civil if we were able to do that? Yes. It's the same reason why I think doxing, you should stand by what you say. But no, if you can have anonymous, I don't mind anonymous American people having free speech. Okay. What I don't like is anonymous Russians and Chinese and Iranians having free speech.
So didn't she come back?
I don't know what just happened.
No, yeah.
I don't know
I don't understand it either because you, under the Constitution, you have free speech.
Yes.
And so you can post whatever you want to post anonymously. That is protected. And what makes me concerned is if you want to be the chief executive of this country and you want to swear an oath to the Constitution, I would have hoped you have read it. And so for her to say, Americans can do it anonymously, but I don't want all these other people to do it. Those people could be Americans, also, but she may be talking about bots.
But I don't know what she's talking about. the thing that somebody pointed out was, I would like people to identify themselves because they write mean things to me, and then I look up their handle and it always says, love Trump, love Jesus. I love Jesus too. We all love Jesus. But they love Trump and Jesus? That's an oxymoron right there.
Yeah.
But that's right. Here's the downside to saying people have to identify themselves.
Yeah.
Someone pointed this out before. During the Arab Spring, where you have whistleblowers, when they're trying to fight their government, and they have to be anonymous, or they will suffer the consequences in their country.
So there's two sides. It has a chilling effect on.
Right, but that's
government.
That's important.
That's foreign. Government intervention is the problem because I wish the social media companies would come together and eliminate anonymous users for the very fact that misinformation is spreading at a ridiculous level. When we were talking about TikTok and the users that are getting 76% of people 18 to 24 are on TikTok, the amount of those people who admit that's their news source has doubled since 2020. It is not a coincidence that we woke up this morning to a letter from Osama bin Laden going viral on TikTok as he was lauded. This is a jihadist, hateful, despicable human being being lauded. And if that's your only source of news, which a lot of young people are not checking and balancing. Some people say mainstream media has always leaned. There's a lot of checks and balances to mainstream media. There are regulations. There are a lot of faces and heads and identified people behind these organizations that are fired, that are let go, that have to give corrections, that have to do 1,000 things. We have a whole generation of people consuming TikTok as if it is the law. And it is creating a radical young movement right now that is scary.
We can't forget where TikTok came from, which was from the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, meant for the purpose of dividing America from within. So what it does is it targets the most vulnerable among us, which is the youngest generation, who's impressionable. Right. In one study, they found that within 2.5 minutes of getting onto TikTok, you can be served up ads promoting suicide, promoting eating disorders. Those are the self-harm and mental health side effects of TikTok, but it also seen a massive uptick in anti-American sentiment, and during the Israeli-Hamas war, which is, there's a lot of disinformation on both sides, a massive amount of disinformation that's being intentionally targeted to people. So
well, I think if people grew some cojones and made the laws work for the people in their countries, respective countries. Listen, in this country, yes, you have the ability to say whatever you want to
anonymously.
Say. You can be anonymous.
Yes, you can.
But I think if you're going to be there giving your opinion about whatever it is, we should be able to engage. I should know what you're saying. If you're bullying my kid, I want to know who you are.
I should know who you are.
I should know.
But the companies can't do the conversation.
Well, I appreciate that what they can do.
They can't do it.
Well, it doesn't matter. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Old social media posts from Taylor Swift's boyfriend, what is this child's name? Travis Kelce. Kelce have re-emerged where he makes a few disparaging comments about women, and some of them date back to 2010 when he was like 4.
No, he was in high school.
Oh, listen, show me a high school boy who hasn't said something stupid about me.
Thank you.
Yeah. Show me. I'm sorry. I don't know. But this is not my problem. I don't really, But I have to say to you, how big a problem would this be for you?
Well, here's one of his quotes. Damn, the Clippers girls got to be the girls that don't make the Lakers team because they was all ugly. Forget about
I love the dramatic
But I mean, forget he's illiterate. Is more to the point.
Well, but the question is, I guess, do you go into your...
Well, he's obsessed with the girls not looking good. That was his thing. Why can't girls hide their back fat? They back fat.
Back fat?
Yeah, they're back fat. I feel like if you want to be a cheerleader, you have to pass a beauty test. There's too many ugly cheerleaders out here. What obsessed
Why do
with
you
women's
care?
looks?
Listen, why do you care what he thinks?
I love my little, I'm a Swiftie.
I do know you're a Swiftie.
And I love her because she's getting young people out to vote.
Right, but she doesn't have a problem with him because she's but she, listen, it's like having daughters, as you will find out. They bring people home.
Oh, I have found that out.
And you can't say,
and you may not like the people.
That's right. And all you can say is okay.
Not necessarily defending Travis Kelce, because those are not appropriate comments, but so Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are my age, 34. We're the generation that for the first time grew up having social media our entire teen and adult life, and we documented everything. I mean, I fear the things that could, like, you think of songs that you liked at the time, and then you're like, wait, this might be totally problematic. I didn't even know what it meant at the time. So I think you got to give people a little bit of grace and hope that the way he treats women now is reflective of how he is
a lot. I know that one of my full-time jobs, in addition to this, is policing my kids' social media because they are young adult.
You could hire Sunny to do that for your family.
Yes, one is a teen, and I consistently am like, take that down, take that one down, that one coming down. I mean, or you don't have a phone, so it becomes a job. But I really think that these kids, their frontal lobes at that age, they're not developed, and they're writing all kinds of stuff.
Listen, young people do young people stuff.
They do.
They do. And what you said 25 years ago may not be the way that you feel this time. So everybody needs to lighten up and let these people, let these people do what they want to do. We're going to be right back because we like back is the #1 movie in America and is the latest chapter in the Marvel Universe that's putting female superheroes and superfans in the lead. Take a look. For being here.
Oh my God, thank you for having us on short notice, might I add.
Well, Iman, Iman, you play Miss Marvel in this movie, and she's a teenager who loves comics and is learning to kind of manage her superpowers. You yourself also grew up a huge Marvel fan, especially the Miss Marvel comic series. This is the first movie that you have ever done.
I find that shocking.
The first movie. So, what has all of this coalescing been like for you?
It's been a lot. The last 3 years of my life have been absolutely insane. I have read Miss Marvel, like every single Miss Marvel comics I could get my hands on. They were like the one piece of media that was just like mine. No one else knew who Miss Marvel was. I dressed up as her on Halloween when I was like 16. My grandma helped me sew the costume. And like literally when I got cast, I sent our casting director the photo of me like dressed up in my homemade cosplay. She's like, shut up. Like, how perfect could this be? But yeah, for the fans, I've infiltrated the MCU.
Well deserved. That's so. I cannot even fathom the full circle-ness of all of this.
I try not to.
Yeah, don't. I don't know if you could handle that feeling.
No. You were so great in it. I'm surprised it was your first movie. I really am. We watch a lot of movies on this show. And Tiana, you and Iman are starring in the movie with Brie Larson. She plays Captain Marvel. You play Monica Rambeau. And you posted this video of you trying on your superhero suit for the first time. And of course, we have a clip.
Oh, gosh.
I watched it over and over again. It was an amazing feeling. I have wanted to be a superhero, and particularly in the Marvel universe since the very first one. I remember sitting over here at Lincoln Center in the theater. I went to the Juilliard School, so that was our go-to
Bravo
spot.
for that by itself.
Thank you. Thank you. A lot of work and energy put into the craft and just the care for the art. And so being here right now promoting our superhero movie with this amazing cast and the crew and with Mia at the helm, it really feels full circle for me. And I'm like shaking as I'm sitting here talking to you. And so I'm really grateful. I'm really full. Well, that was an exciting moment.
It was fantastic.
It's the first day, because then you start sweating and you're actually fighting in it. And then it's like, oh, it's sticking. And I have to use the bathroom. And okay, so then it becomes what it is.
It does bring the answer to certain questions.
Yes, it does.
I'm like, are there snaps?
Mine didn't even have like a full zipper down the back, so I couldn't step into it. Me and my costumer, like first it took us 2 people to get into it. We used fabric lube, which is basically
not something you do every day.
I put powder on my entire body.
Broski, I felt like I was being reborn every time I put that suit on. It was like coming out of the womb.
Note to Marvel, the women have something to tell you.
Well, Iman, we know how important representation is, and you and your character are both Pakistani Muslims. What does it mean to you to represent your culture on such a huge platform?
I mean, it's honestly, like, for me, representation wasn't even something that I thought I wanted or needed more of, because I was like, I'm me, I go to mosque. It's just like it's a regular part of my life, as normal as like soccer practice, right? So only until I realized how big of a deal it was when I read the Miss Marvel comics, and I was like, oh my god, this comic book is holding a mirror in front of me. It was, I felt seen on a whole other level, like down to my core. And like Marvel Universe, like these movies play all over the world. It only makes sense they represent people from all over the world. They've got like aliens and green people and talking trees. Like, how far-fetched are brown people,
Speak on it.
But it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, Tiana, you've said that you made a point to wear your natural hair, which I love. Yeah. You do that as much as possible for your roles throughout your career, including in the Marvels. Now, why has that been important for you to do? Because sometimes we are very limited in how we are allowed to wear our hair.
That part. As Iman was just saying about being able to see yourself, I realized very early on in my career that I wasn't seeing myself, and I was intentionally straightening my hair because I felt that's what I needed to do to get ahead in this business, and I was also told that a couple of times.
Yes.
And so there was a certain point where I was like, I'm not being true to myself. I don't know who myself actually is, and so that whole process was, I thought it was just going to be changing my hair, but it actually was changing my mind about what I deemed as beautiful and what I deemed as acceptable, and including myself, the image of myself and others that looked like me in what I deem as beautiful and what I see as beautiful. So anytime I got a role after that, I just posed the question to the director, like, why not? And when you actually ask them and they think about it, they're like, actually, you're right. It's fine. Do it. Do what you would like to do. And so, it definitely has been a mission of mine to say, well, we can be seen and should be seen as we are and as we exist in the world.
Beautiful like that.
Thank you.
I would like that clip that you had.
Oh, thank you. That was amazing.
He wears a clip in this movie. I wanted that clip.
Thank you. And
there it goes. There it goes.
Oh, yes. And then the hair is actually, have a hairline coming out that caters to women with texture and hair. So, yes.
Well, please include the clip.
The clip will be there.
Okay. Well, Iman, you were only 21 years old, and acting wasn't something you originally thought you would be doing. So what is next?
Where do you go from here?
I know. I have no idea. I wish I could give you a step-by-step schedule of my next 10-year plan, but honestly, I just want to meet cool people. Like that is, the bar's honestly not very low. Like I want to meet cool people and I want to work with cool people, and I've learned so much in like such a short amount of time. Like I'm literally a sponge absorbing as much as I can. I'm writing a comic book right now for Marvel Comics as well. I just have so much access to like connections now, and I want to use that to the best I can, and so writing a comic has been like obviously one of my dreams, and it's a Miss Marvel comic, so it's so weird. Like I bought my own comic from the same store I bought my very first comic ever, and the same owner sold it to me, and it's so trippy, and like I'm so glad I can have these experiences. So I want more of that.
Let them sit. You don't have to know what's not. Just take it all in.
Great.
You earned it. Tiana, though, we have to say congratulations because you became a mama this past February.
Thank you.
And I know that it's so amazing, but can be really hard. So, how has the first year been?
I can't. First of all, I cannot believe it's been a year, almost a year. It's been amazing, and also I want to also say it's been a heck of a challenge. I think that I usually hear at this point in the process, you've become sort of accustomed to the new things, and I want to make sure that I say that those first 3 months were
one trimester.
Oh, okay. I had never heard anyone actually talk about how incredibly difficult it is. Trying to breastfeed is probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yes, because sometimes they don't latch on.
They don't latch, you're bleeding, all the things.
Sometimes
your
they
body
just don't want it.
They don't want it. And you're like, but you're hungry.
You're supposed to look.
We've all talked about it here.
They speak no English. They speak no English, and they don't care what you think.
They don't care.
They just want something.
And you're responsible for this small person, but your body is open. Your mind is still processing what happened. I remember being 3 weeks out, like, but I had the baby. Why can't I stand up and go up the stairs?
They don't tell you about all that.
They don't. No, but it's been amazing. She is a blessing. My tribe is a blessing. My husband is. I'm very blessed, and she's wonderful.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, our thanks to Imani Valley and Tiana Paris. The Marvels is in theaters right now. Tiana is also starring in the new movie Dashing Through the Snow, starring Chris Ludacris Bridges, who will be with us next. And we'll be right back. Welcome back, actor and Grammy-winning artist voice, Ludacris Bridges is putting a modern and inclusive spin on the holiday movie in Dashing Through the Snow, playing a disillusioned dad who needs some convincing when Santa pays a visit. Take a look.
All right, I'm gonna frisk you, just to be safe. You know something? Have at it. Frisk away. Now watch out, though. I'm ticklish. Turn around. All right. You know, going around the globe, giving out gifts. Creatures stirring. Not even a... What is this? Those are carrots. Those are apparently my snacks. The missus said I need to eat healthier, so she decided to give me some carrots. She think this would wean me off the cookies. That's what I'm so far.
Please welcome back the fabulous Ludacris Bridges.
So I have the first question for you.
Yeah, I'm ready.
So I've heard that Dashing Through the Snow looks like you had a lot of fun. True?
I had too much fun. I always like taking on roles that no one expects me to do. That's how you diversify that portfolio and that acting career. So I'm so happy with this movie, and I feel like a lot of people are going to love it. It's going to be a staple. You got to watch it every Christmas after you see it this Christmas.
Yeah, that's the way to go. So are you anything like your character, Eddie, or are you only, and you know, do you do a lot for the holidays? What do you do?
Yeah, I'm nothing like this character. That's exactly why I took on the role. You know, he's kind of like a present-day Scrooge to a degree. He needs some convincing. He needs his restoration on faith when it comes to the holiday season, because he went through some traumatic experiences as a child. And when you watch the movie, you'll see. But this movie is really about healing, and a lot of people need healing these days. So there's some really deeper themes that's going on in the movie.
There are. But it was still fun, and it was done in just such a joyous way, ultimately. So
agreed. Yeah, Lil Rel is hilarious.
Kudos. Hilarious. So and we just had Tiana on. I saw the other movie she was in first, and then I turned yours on, and I said, well, didn't I just see this person?
Yeah, I just asked Tiana, could I borrow like 20,000?
I'm just like, what's going on?
She's making a lot of money.
I was also, honestly, very happy to see an African-American Santa Claus in this movie. Okay? Because we have Black Santa in my house, but I know that that's not always the case.
It's empowering.
It's very empowering.
It's great to see ourselves.
Because in most American movies, there is no Black Santa Claus.
Exactly.
Was this important to you to have a Black Santa Claus?
100%. This mystical, magical Black Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Very important. I couldn't have said it better than what Tiana just said about representation, so I'm going to leave it at that. But that's why it's so special, and I feel like this movie is just totally different. It's actually a modern take. This Santa Claus has an iPad for his naughty and nice list. He has an iPhone.
He's so funny.
He's so funny. So I'm telling you, this is going to break through the mold of all other Christmas movies.
For little black kids to see that. I think it's very important.
Especially Santa. When did we decide he was white?
He's a mythical creature. He can be anything.
Listen, in the Ludacris world, he's been black the whole time.
You have a beautiful family. Your wife and you have been married for almost 9 years, which means we must have gotten married around the same time, because my 9-year anniversary is November 22nd.
He's beating you. He's got
Happy anniversary.
He beat me by a whole life. 4 beautiful girls ranging from 2 to 22.
Yes.
Way to spread that out.
It is. My life is like a everyday version of the View. Actually, it's like at home. This is what I deal with, but there's no commercial breaks.
No. Well, you shared a video of your youngest daughter rapping some of your lyrics, so let's go ahead and take a look.
Can you get out the way in this song?
Gosh, she knows exactly the right words not to say.
She does. No, they listen to the clean versions, but you see the genetics are there. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
I was like, that's all Papa.
Now that's her mother's side. That's that Middle West African dance stuff that she's watching every single day. But you know, she's a perfect balance of both.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, the movie was so fun, and it is going to become a Christmas staple. I just loved it. But your career is so remarkable. It spanned so many years. That you walked out to your famous song "Stand Up," which is coming up on its 20th anniversary. You've sold more than 24 million albums worldwide. Like, you're just such an icon. What do you attribute your longevity to?
You know, I stay hungry and I'm so competitive even to this day. Like, I'm over here acting and I'm like, man, I got to put out some more music to compete in the music space. So I just love, you know, just embracing what's new, but I also want to compete against what's new. So I would attribute that to just, you know, the longevity. And it's like, after all of this time, the fans have to prove and tell you what is actually a legacy song as opposed to you trying to tell everybody. You have to let this amount of time pass before it can still stand the test of time and be embedded in the culture.
That's
so I'm just blessed and thankful that after all this time, these records are still very, very popular.
They are very embedded in the culture. And talking about the culture, I mean, hip hop just celebrated its 50th anniversary this summer, okay? What does that milestone mean for you?
It's crazy because it's still young in my opinion. It's very, very young. And to see the impact that it has had globally. It's out of this world. And it just makes me excited to see how much further it's going to continue to go over the next 50 years and beyond.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, before we go, we really quickly have to congratulate you on receiving a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not only was your wife and your beautiful family there, but you also had Queen Latifah, Vin Diesel, LL Cool J all coming to support you. This must have been a full circle moment.
It was one of the best days of my entire life. It was like the perfect day. Everyone being there, my entire family, like you said, my friends, and receiving that award and that accolade is the first time that fans can actually have something tangible to go and touch and take pictures in front of. So it's like we are able to celebrate this together. That's how it felt. And I was just overjoyed.
Wow. Congratulations.
Great.
Highlight of the year. Thank you.
And it's not a surprise. Not a surprise at all. So it's good to see.
Come back again.
Our thanks to Chris Ludacris Bridges, Dashing Through the Snow. Begins streaming on Friday, this Friday on Disney Plus. Make sure you watch it because you will not be disappointed
at all.
We will be right back.
Flame.
Hi, I'm Katie.
Could burn it all down.
I am happy to see you. This is making me want to go home.
What is she doing here? New Bachelor in Paradise tonight on ABC.
Welcome back. I just want to let y'all know I went to see the Barry Manilow Bruce Sussman musical, which is called Harmony. It's at the Barrymore Theater. It is really, the story is extraordinary. It's just, you get knocked out. The music is wonderful, but the acting, the boys, the Sean Bell, Danny Cornfield, Eric Peters, Blake Roman, Stephen Telsey, and Zach Owen, they are an amazing, it's an amazing cast, and I think if you go see it, you'll enjoy it.
Well, I wanted to just tell everybody that I got a text from Anna Navarro during the rehearsal, and she goes, pull your pants down. They're riding all the way up to your boobs. She said, you look like Urkel.
No, they're high-waisted.
Fine. Miss Anna.
They're high-waisted.
The girl is trolling me, okay? I'll see you tomorrow, Anna.
She is, but at least she's not anonymously trolling you.
Yeah,
You know who she is.
You know who she is.
Today,
Go ahead.
Are you sure?
Go ahead.
Okay. So today we are honoring Quanah Chasing Horse, who's fighting to protect and preserve the beauty of her culture, her sacred land, and put Native American beauty in the pop culture spotlight. Take a look. Quanah Chasing Horse was raised in Fairbanks, Alaska by her tribal leader mother and aunties, who taught her to embrace her Hanwichan and Oglala Lakota ancestry. She learned to hunt, fish, and dog mush, fostering a deep reverence for her native land and traditions.
We're very, very lucky that my mom took the time and made sure that we knew who we were, where we come from, that we have these values and we live by them.
Kwana was captivated by fashion at a young age, but never saw her indigenous heritage represented in media. So she set out to change that. Staying true to her identity, she refused to cover up her culturally significant tattoos. And at just 18 years old, Kwana landed a Calvin Klein campaign and continued to break barriers on magazine covers like Elle, Vogue, and Allure. She also turned heads at the Met Gala when she hit the red carpet donning indigenous-inspired jewelry. Kwana continues to use her platform to advocate for the rights of indigenous people and their community, including climate justice and preserving Native Americans' sacred land.
We want to protect our communities, we want to protect our people, we want to protect our culture and traditions, and we want to protect Mother Earth because protecting Mother Earth is protecting ourselves and protecting the future generation.
Among the constellations will whisper, never nectar see home. A celestial circle and bright. In this cosmic love, souls take flight. Galaxies twirling the sweet morning. Nebula nectar, passions of sway. In the astral glow where dreams lay. Our story across cosmic space. Nebula, nectar, taste of the sublime. In this cosmic elixir of a climb. Sipping that as a flame. And being lovers cup of love's perfect. As the cosmic current gently falls.
Phước đường dài